Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and I want to bring you guys the information regarding the new Doom Raid 3 that's going to be happening as of patch 6.3, which is, they have an official date now, which is going to be live on the 27th, which is going to be Wednesday noon. Pacific time. That's normally when the patches go live, although it usually takes a couple of hours for maintenance. And so now we have the Doom Raid 3 map, and we actually have the requirements for the different difficulties, how we're going to get through this, and also we'll have the nodes to talk about as well, because they have the enemies on there. So I want to take a look at this all with you all, so that we can kind of make some sense out of it and see how difficult it really is going to be. So if you can see this anyways, this is the map for the Doom Raid. Maybe I can open this up in a separate window, actually. This might be a little bit easier here. So just to zoom in a little bit. So we have starting in at the start. This is the start. And so you can either go left or you either go right. And if you go left, you start with skill. And if you go right, you start with mystic. And then it seems on the left, you go from skill to bio to tech to mystic to mutant. So that's the seems of the direction over there. And then on the right hand side, you have mystic to mutant to skill, to bio, to tech. So that's backwards, right? It's sort of. Anyways. And you can see that Doom is still on the boss nodes. So what I'm curious about exactly is, like, who's on the nodes? And specifically, I want to take a look at, like, the mutant lanes. Some of the lanes that are a little bit more challenging, but I don't want to take any of it for granted. But specifically, like in Doom 2, for example, like mutant lane and tech, obviously, are some of the challenges. But let's go back to the blog post itself. And they talk about the... Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. They talk about the ISO 8 requirements for each difficulty. So you just need ISO 8 Tier 2 Level 3, which is Blue 3, all the way up to difficulty 5. Now, what it seems like is this is all the difficulties we're getting just now. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty sure there was a data mine suggesting there was going to be a difficulty 6, 7, and 8. However, it doesn't look like we're getting that at this time. So it's only the highest difficulty, literally the hardest of hard content, that's going to require level 4 ions. Now, how are you going to get there exactly? It also says that by getting into difficulty 1 and 2, you only need to do 60%. So 60% on normal to get difficulty 1, 60% on difficulty 1 to get into difficulty 2. So I think from then on, though, to unlock difficulty 3 and 4 and 5, you need to run 100% of the previous ones. So that's good to know. So for those of us who are not in super hardcore alliances, about 100% clears, we can at least get ourselves to 3.2 without any major troubles. Players seeking additional T2 level 4 ions are going to be able to take on difficulty 5, rather. You're going to get these from Cosmic Crucible. So now, like at the end of your week in Cosmic Crucible, there's going to be a payout for this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be in this week's, because there's going to be a payout for Wednesday, actually. Wednesday. So my guess is it won't be until next week that we're going to get the level 4 ions for those of us who are in leagues platinum or higher. So this is really important, because this is going to mean that maybe we're going to need to push for it. Well, I mean, you kind of should pay some attention to this, but now maybe people are going to take it more seriously and pay more attention to Cosmic Crucible now that T2 level 4 is locked behind Cosmic Crucible. So it does matter what league that you're in, and especially being in platinum or higher. So platinum, diamond. There's only 3. Platinum, Diamond, and Master. I hope, though, that this is not the end-all be-all, because this is slow to change your ranking, and I hope that maybe in the future that we're going to have more access to level 4s that's not going to really cause players and alliances to struggle with this to get to. But, you know, I'm glad that that's only a requirement for, you know, difficulty 5 of Doom Raid 3, so that's pretty good so far. So, you know, the rest of it is pretty accessible. Let's talk about the actual raids, though, and the nodes. So this is the map here, and if you click on them, it's going to bring up the actual nodes. I'm going to start here with Mystic, just because I'm curious if what we have is going to be enough. Maybe I should have brought it up in a different tab. That's okay. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much problems. So node number 1, we can see that this is difficulty 0, by the way. This is just the base difficulty, and we have level 88 enemies and about anywhere from 140 to 165k. So we have wave 1, which is Darkhold without Morgan, Agatha, Strange, Wong, and then we have Emma and Sinister, and then we have Loki, Scarlet Witch, and Red Guardian. So right off the bat, we have a spawn taunt. Now, as long as you have Eternals, I'm assuming that this is not going to be a huge problem here. You're just going to flip everything and probably kill them, to be honest, anyways. We'll see how much hit points they have. I mean, this suggests that they have anywhere from, like, 500 to 700k hit points, so they could be pretty easy to kill regardless, even at difficulty 0. You know, so your Eternals are probably just going to blow right through them. And then on wave 2, there is 2 Multiple Mans and Mr. Sinister, which I think is a bit funny, but I'm not sure if that's going to really cause any huge problems. The Sinister could, if he stays alive long enough, but I feel that you could still probably kill him pretty fast, or you can control him, or just AoE everything down with the New Warriors Eternals combo that we have thus far. So going back to the nodes, maybe I should just open up in a new tab next time. So let's open up this one. This is Mystic Node 2. Nope, I can't do that. Okay, do I actually have to click on it? Okay, so Mystic Node 2. Alright, we have Wave 1, and there's quite a few enemies actually. That's 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 14. So we have, like, I don't know, a mixture. We have Kate Bishop and Miss Marvel, and then we have some Hydra characters, and then we have Magneto and Adam Warlock. So right off the bat, I'm thinking like, well, Magneto and Taskmaster here are gonna blind you. So how many of the characters are susceptible in the New Warriors to blind? Well, I don't think the Eternals really are, but Cloak is, and Deathpool not really either. So this might be, you might be able to shake this off, and it might not really be a big deal even if you do get blinded, because a lot of the characters are not super impacted, or it's unavoidable in the case of Icarus. Wave 2, oh shit, there's more than that, wow. There's more of them, there's like 20 enemies. Okay, so they have around 500k hit points still. I don't think that... There's more Young Avengers, though. So if Echo starts stacking up with, say, Miss Marvel and this other Kate Bishop, this could be a problem. But I'm just thinking from a Mystic perspective, like, normally we just AoE the shit out of everything and everything falls down. So I don't know how much of a problem that's going to be, but there are a lot of Young Avenger members. So if they do happen to stack up, this could be a bit of a problem. So we have America Chavez, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, and then another Adam Warlock and Magneto for whatever reason. So there's quite a few enemies in here, which is a little bit of a surprising take from Doom Raid 2, when there was usually like no more than like 10, 12 enemies, and usually it was like 15-ish on boss nodes. So let's take a look at the first Mystic boss node, because that's what I'm kind of curious about. And we have the first one here. Oh, dear lord. We actually have Dormammu. Doom's not even on the fucking list. What the fuck? Okay, so we have Dormammu as a boss. I kind of, in a weird way, I saw this coming, but they never... But the picture... The picture shows that it's Doom, so maybe this needs to be changed to Dormammu. It's not a fucking Doom raid, it's a Dormammu raid. That being said, Dormammu is fairly weak to... fairly weak to Eternals, so with the Icarus flip and the AoE that's going on, I don't see this being a problem either. However, he does have 1.4 million hit points, which is quite substantial, and on spawn, he's going to presumably give everyone a revive function, so that's going to be really fucking annoying. And then we have Unlimited X-Men to some capacity. We have Phantom X Gambit and Dazzler, 2 Dazzlers in fact, and some Shang-Chi's. Some pretty big, meaty hit points on some of these characters, like 1 million... Cap Sam at the very end. That doesn't look very great either. We're going to see how the waves drop, but 2, 6, 9, 12, 16 enemies with a Dormammu that can revive everyone on the field. This could be quite interesting. Now, of course, when I actually play this, I'm going to do like a blind playthrough on my channel here that I'm going to record. I don't know how well I'm going to do. I think I'll be going right rather than left. So, because I want to know how hard are these mutant nodes going to be. And that's really the biggest problem here. So we have the first node here, the first mutant node. And I want to take a look at this. And I want to see, like, how hard is this going to be for Astonishing X-Men? And so right off the bat now, I'm seeing nothing out of this world, I don't think. But then I'm seeing a Madeline Pryor here on the second wave, and I'm like, huh. Madeline Pryor just fucks shit up for Astonishing X-Men. I know that because there was a Madeline Pryor on that Famine raid node. The Famine node, I don't know, whichever node that was for the mutants that really fucked me up on there. So I'm hoping that this doesn't cause too much problems. As far as hit points go, they're also around the 1 million. Some of them are around the 1 million mark. I don't think it'll be too challenging, but there's no minions or anything like that to take advantage of, like no Gregs, no multiple men, that kind of thing so far. Phi Lavelle is someone you're going to want to watch out for because she can hit really hard. So that's that. Let's check out the second mutant node. And that's going to be down, that's this one here. And we have Deathpool. Okay, so we have like another Darkhold sort of thing, a mystic thing going on. We have a Spawn Taunt with Drax, so we're going to have to flip that with Beast or something, or some assist. And then we have Agatha, Strange, Other Strange, Deathpool, and some new warriors. In fact, we have Cloak and Dagger on different waves. We have Wong later on, so Agatha will have to go like ASAP, and then probably Strange as well. Again, no characters to take advantage of as far as like, you know, minion kills, fast minion kills for the turn bar, and I guess that's what they wanted to do away with. And I'm wondering if this is probably due to like maybe us getting a future mutant raid node and a mutant raid team, and that's why they're kind of changing the way things are for this, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. So interesting so far, a lot of enemies that could easily fuck you up, and so I think it'll depend on how fast we can kill them or control them, so that's going to be really important. Let's take a look at the boss node, because that's really like, are we going to get stuck behind this? Let's take a look at this. Is it actually Dormammu as well? No, it's not. Actually, in fact, there's not even any Dooms, but I just saw there was a Morgan. So starting off the bat, we have a Cersei. No Icarus, thankfully. We have Silver Surfer. I really fucking hate Silver Surfer. What kind of passive does he have, actually? It's level 1. Okay, so he doesn't heal. So Silver Surfer does not heal, which is cool. That's nice. Emma Frost is there to slow you down, which sucks. And then we have a Madeline Pryor. They're really trying to fuck over Astonishing X-Men here in the mutant lanes, I think, with these Madeline Pryors. Because Madeline Pryor just has a boner for X-Men characters. And they put a lot, especially for Uncanny, I believe, and they put a lot of negative status effects. So Beast and stuff like that. Everyone's going to get hit by a serious amount of debuffs. And I really think that Madeline Pryor is going to be like that next Mordo who just decides to, like, fuck you in a raid. And I think that's what's going to happen. And then we have another Agatha again, and then we have... Actually, Icarus is down here. Sorry. So Cersei is going to have to be a #1 target here, because Icarus pops down later on. So if she's still up when he pops up, then you're really screwing over yourself, probably, and anyone who comes in after you. And then at the very end, we have Morgan Le Fay. Like, oh my god, one of the worst characters to fight, and now we're going to have to fight her with Astonishing X-Men. This does not sound fun at all. These nodes actually sound pretty challenging, and I guess we'll have to wait until we actually get to play it to see whether or not it actually looks that bad. So that was Mutant. I can't say if that looks any better or worse than Doom Raid 2, but boy, the Madeline Pryors, Morgan Le Fay, Eternals, of course they're going to throw those on nodes. Let's move on to skill. What are we getting for skill? Now, skill with Secret Avengers, Shang-Chi, and Kestrel, you know, you can't really auto this. This is stuff that you kind of have to manual play. What am I seeing? I'm seeing a Spawn Taunt here with Red Guardian. I'm seeing a bunch of Thors, so those passives could really... I'm assuming he's got the passive, probably. This will probably fuck you up. Yeah, he's got level 5 passive. So anytime that you're hitting other... any other Asgardians, or even Black Widow in this case here, it's going to trigger passives off of 2 Thors. They all have ISOs as well, or ISOs, sorry. And so this is not going to be fun. A Loki Spawn as well for a mind control. This could be weird. We have a second one down here, and then we have 2 Hellas. So my biggest concern right off the bat on this is actually getting stuck behind any taunts, possibly a Sif taunt, and then Thor passive just going off like the fucking wazoo. So I don't know. We're going to have to see how that plays out as well. We have... Other than that, I think to me that's the biggest challenge that stands out, is how much damage is Thor going to put out. That's what I'm curious about. So let's move on to the second skill node. And that would be, I think it's this one? Yeah, okay. So, and now we have, what the fuck? We have Morbius, and Deathpool, and some Multiple Man, and some Dark Hunters, basically. Sort of, like a mixed team. This is a bit real mixed team here. Could get stuck behind a Silver Samurai. This one doesn't look that bad on the surface, I think. But again, I guess it really depends on how it plays out. That's just what it looks like anyways. I think the one to look out for here actually is going to be Silver Samurai, I think, and then probably Deathpool on node number 2. Nothing really much to say about this. I think it just looks somewhat normal. I think there's just a few challenge characters. Let's move on to the boss node for skill. How much are we going to get fucked up here? And that should be here, I think. Okay, so we do have a Doctor Doom. So we have a boss with a Doctor Doom and a fucking Madeline Pryor. They're sticking Madeline Pryor everywhere. Like, she's the new Mordo. She's the one that's appearing everywhere to screw you up with negative status effects. There is a Doom in there, and he does have all of his skills, 7775. So that means that you're going to have to control him with Sharon Carter, which means that you're going, because I don't think there's anyone else that really does that, and you're going to need to ability block him, and somehow manage to kill him amidst having, Strife and, the Marauders basically try to screw you at every turn. There's an Emma Frost on the second wave, and another Madeline Pryor down below. They sure love their fucking Madeline Pryors, and I apologize for the swearing, but oh my god, she's the new raid boss. Just her. She's everywhere. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see again. And hopefully that we don't have too much of a problem landing an ability block on that Dr. Doom. Let's move on to Bio. So this shouldn't be too bad with our Premier Raid team, right? That's what I would think. This is node number 1 with, we have some, actually very few enemies. We have 7 enemies. We have, really? We have the Ravager, no, sorry, we have T'Challa and Yondu, and then we have the Web Warriors. Web Warriors fighting Web Warriors, that should be fun. And then we have an Ultron down here. And so Ultron is 7775, he's going to be summoning minions, and that should be fun. Doesn't seem too bad, actually, as far as what I've been looking at for the nodes. Let's go for Bio node number 2. And that should be this one here. Okay, and we have Infinity Watch. Full Infinity Watch, in fact, with Jubilee, Beast, and Psylocke. So you know that Psylocke is going to be chucking back negative status effects. So Phyla-Vell can cleanse, but Psylocke also chucks it back. So you kind of want to ability block both of them. I don't know, is that even possible? Or you need to debuff the shit out of them, or I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Both of them need to be controlled, otherwise, Psylocke's gonna chuck it back, or Phyla-Vell's gonna cleanse. And then we have a fucking Phoenix with a magic combo. This sounds absolutely horrific. So you're gonna have to deal with magic first, otherwise she'll just resummon Phoenix after you kill her the first time. This could get you trapped a little bit, because I see a Beast, and so you technically have an Uncanny X-Men team that could heal themselves alongside Jubilee, depending on, you know, when they drop, because it says drops when less than 6 remain. There's 8 of them, so you can kill 3 of these before the next wave drops. And I think at this point you probably want to do like Phyla-Vell, Beast, and like, I don't know, Gamora, so she doesn't kill you or something, or Nebula. This is going to be a lot of fun, and when I mean a lot of fun, I mean not really. So that looks interesting. Let's move on to tech, because this is where a lot of people are, well, Bionic Avengers. This is probably designed with Bionic Avengers in mind, not with the ragtag crap that we have right now. So node number 1, we have Stranges, we have Psylocke, we have Red Guardian, so Spontant here. That's going to have to get rid of somehow, maybe with Kate Bishop's special or something, or, I don't know, her basic or some other way. And then Psylocke chucks back negative status effects, so you're going to want to lock her down. And then wave 2, we have Wong, so you don't want... You probably want to get rid of Strange Heartless before Wong drops, otherwise you're going to get locked behind Wong. And then we have Magic again, but we don't have any Phoenixes, so that seems relatively okay. I think it's just these first wave and a half here that's really going to be the challenge. Doesn't seem that bad, but of course I say that now, and we'll see when it comes to the actual game. Node number 2. This is probably where shit's going to hit the fan. We have a Surfer, and that Surfer does not have the healing, so that's good. Sorry, guys. But we do have a Baron Zemo. Actually, you know, this wave doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It doesn't look that bad. There's not a ton of synergy between the characters here. Beast and Bishop, though. So you probably want to deal with Beast ASAP. You probably don't... You probably want to get rid of Silver Surfer at some point anyways. But other than that, it doesn't look too bad. Get rid of Beast and before Bishop comes down, and then probably lock Shang-Chi down and try not to get him kick you in the face. And that's kind of what I think there. Otherwise, it doesn't seem too bad either, strangely, for tech. Let's talk about the tech boss. And we have a Doom. Okay, so Doom is really hard to get through on the tech, I find. It's doable in Doom 2 with a good time platform and Lady Deathstrike getting 3 turns and just bleeding the shit out of him. But I think that this is designed for Bionic Avengers. There isn't that many enemies. There's 6, 10, 12. There's an Ultron here, though. We have some Unlimited X-Men. We have Phantom X, Dazzler. We have a bunch of X-Men, though. We have the trio, Jubilee, Beast, and Bishop. So I think you really need to get rid of probably Jubilee, but also Beast as well. All while having to deal with all of this shit. Kate Bishop landing a blind and stuff like that. You know, it's just not a lot of fun. So, Ultron, I don't know where he's going to drop in there, if he's going to be a lot of a big problem there. But either way, you know, this looks like a bundle of joy, and I can't wait. And I'm saying this half sarcastically, but it's new content. And I honestly, I can't wait to try it out. And hopefully that you guys will, hopefully it won't be too bad. And you'll see it on my channel when it comes. Probably on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever I get around to recording it and I'm able to do as many nodes as I possibly can, unless I fall, you know, face first down into the dirt and I don't make it very far. We'll find out that too. So that's the end of this little preview here. Let me know what you think. Which areas do you think are going to be the hardest for you, the hardest in general, or maybe the hardest for your roster? Let me know all that down in the comments down below. So until next time, all stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.